What if one single night could capture a lifetime of love, commitment, and quiet passion? This story invites you into an intimate journey that begins with a heartfelt proposal, flows through the gentle warmth of family, and blossoms into a night filled with deep emotional connection. Before you dive in, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to support more touching stories like this. Now, take a deep breath and step into a world where love is spoken through glances, silence, and shared dreams. A story of Huyen and Day, where happiness unfolds softly, beautifully, and unforgettable from the very first moment. After the sweet and heartfelt proposal, time itself seemed to soften around Hun and Dee, as if the world had gently stepped back to give their love a moment to breathe. The air was filled with a quiet warmth, the kind that settles deep in the chest and lingers there, steady and reassuring. When Dee knelt down, his hands trembling ever so slightly, it was not grand gestures that made the moment unforgettable, but the sincerity in his eyes that had witnessed every joy, every hardship, every ordinary day that had slowly woven their lives together. His words were simple, yet each one carried the weight of years spent loving Hun in ways both loud and silent. Hun felt her heart swell as she listened, memories flowing through her like a gentle tide. She remembered the first time they laughed together, the first disagreement they learned to forgive, the countless evenings spent sharing dreams that once felt distant but now seemed within reach. In that moment, she understood that love was not only found in passion or promises, but in presence, in choosing one another again and again, even when life felt heavy. Tears shimmered in her eyes, not from surprise alone, but from the deep certainty that this was the person she wanted to walk beside for the rest of her life. As the ring caught the light, it seemed to glow with its own quiet magic, reflecting not just the present moment, but the future unfolding before them. It symbolized 1,000 unspoken vows, to be patient, to be kind, to stand together in both sunshine and storm. When Hun said yes, her voice was soft but unwavering, filled with a joy so pure it felt almost sacred. Dee rose to his feet, pulling her into an embrace that felt like home, safe, familiar, and profoundly comforting. Around them, the world resumed its gentle rhythm, but for Hun and Dee, everything had changed. Their hearts beat in harmony, carrying a shared promise that needed no audience and no applause. In that tender silence, love spoke most clearly, not as a fleeting emotion, but as a deep, enduring bond. It was the beginning of a new chapter, written not in haste, but in devotion, hope, and a sweetness that would echo through every day yet to come. As the night gently deepened, their shared joy carried them home, where the soft glow of lamplight welcomed them into a quieter, more intimate world. The echoes of the proposal still lingered in their hearts as they moved through familiar rooms, hands brushing, smiles exchanged in silence. Soon, their attention turned to little Maya, already drowsy from the day's gentle excitement. Huyen cradled her close, humming a tender lullaby that had become a ritual of comfort and love, while Day stood nearby, watching the scene with a heart full beyond words. In those moments, he saw not only the woman he loved, but the future they were building together, one shaped by care, patience, and shared devotion. Maya's breathing slowly evened out, her tiny fingers relaxing as sleep claimed her completely. Huyen carefully laid her down, tucking the blanket around her with a tenderness that spoke of endless love. Day reached for Huyen's hand as they stepped quietly away, closing the door with reverence, as if sealing a sacred moment behind them. The house seemed to sigh into stillness, wrapped in peace and gentle shadows. Outside, the night shimmered softly, stars scattered across the sky like whispered blessings meant only for them. They lingered together in the quiet, letting the weight of the day melt away. There was no rush, no need for words, only the shared awareness of how deeply connected they were. Day brushed his thumb lightly over Huyen's hand, and she leaned into him, feeling the steady rhythm of his heartbeat. It was in that closeness that their love felt most powerful, unspoken, profound, and utterly real. Every glance carried meaning, every breath felt shared, as if their souls were moving in perfect harmony. The night seemed to hold them gently, wrapping them in warmth and intimacy. It was a moment of pure belonging, where past struggles faded and the future felt bright and inviting. Their happiness was not loud or overwhelming, but rich and immersive, filling every corner of the space between them. In the quiet glow of the night, Huyen and Dave found themselves lost in the depth of their connection, savoring the sweetness of love that had grown stronger through time. As they remained there together, the world outside felt distant and unimportant. What mattered was this: two hearts bound by choice, trust, and unwavering affection. The night unfolded like a soft melody, and within it, their love flowed freely, deep and enduring, carrying them forward into a future illuminated by hope, tenderness, and a joy that felt endless. Wrapped in the hush of the late hours, the night continued to unfold around Huyen and Da like a velvet curtain drawn slowly closed. The soft lights cast gentle shadows along the walls, and the air itself seemed to hum with an intimacy born not of urgency, but of deep emotional closeness. Their earlier joy had not faded, it had simply transformed, settling into something warmer, more profound. Every movement between them felt intentional, every pause filled with meaning, as if the night invited them to linger within its quiet embrace. They moved together with an effortless understanding, guided by familiarity and trust shaped over years of shared life. A lingering glance, a slow smile, the subtle closeness of two bodies attuned to one another. These small moments carried a powerful tenderness. Deb brushed a strand of hair away from Huyen's face, his touch gentle, reverent, as though savoring the miracle of being here, now, together. Huyen met his gaze, her eyes reflecting a depth of emotion that words could never fully capture, a blend of love, security, and an unspoken longing to remain in this moment forever. The world beyond their quiet sanctuary felt distant, almost unreal. Outside, the night shimmered softly, moonlight filtering through the window like a silent witness to their closeness. Time seemed to slow, stretching each second into something rich and immersive. Their breaths aligned naturally, their presence grounding and intoxicating in its own gentle way. It was not passion driven by fire alone, but by connection, by the knowledge that they were fully seen, fully chosen, and deeply cherished. As the hours slipped by, the night became a space of shared warmth and unguarded emotion. Their closeness was layered with affection, comfort, and a subtle electricity that flowed between them without needing to be named. Love revealed itself not through grand declarations, but through the quiet surrender of being entirely present with one another. In that shared stillness, every touch felt meaningful, every moment saturated with emotion and desire softened by devotion. Eventually, the night held them in a peaceful calm, as if blessing the bond they had nurtured so carefully. Wrapped in one another's presence, Huyen and Dev rested within the certainty of their love, deep, enduring, and alive with promise. It was a night that did not need to be spoken of aloud, one that would live on in memory as a moment of pure connection where hearts met without hesitation and love lingered gently, glowing long after the darkness gave way to dawn.